Dun, 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 dun. Hi, I'm Caleb Jones, and this is Alpha Male 2.0, because only a true alpha male can wear a hat like this. Freedom-focused lifestyle design for men, your own location-independent business that sets you free from your 9-to-5 job in your collapsing Western country, and dating multiple attractive women all at the same time, long-term, with no lying, cheating, or drama, the freest lifestyle a man can live in the collapsing era in which we all find ourselves. I'm going to make this one a little shorter and sweeter tonight because I'm not feeling well. Long story. I have some weird, allergic reaction around my mouth and my lips. No, it's not herpes. I was at the doctor yesterday. It's an allergic reaction. We have to figure out what's wrong. And my lips feel like they're rocks and they burn. And it feels weird to talk. And so I'm on a medication thing that I took last night. And apparently it makes you drowsy during the night, but I've been a little drowsy all day. I'm dealing with a bunch of shit. So anyway, plus it's holiday. So there you go. I would strongly recommend, before we get to our topic today, because it relates, I would strongly recommend, if you have not seen it, you should go over to the Unchained CEO YouTube channel or my podcast and watch or listen to the podcast I just did on Monday, called Why America is Collapsing, Why the USA is Collapsing, All the Stats. Strongly recommend you watch or listen to that if you haven't yet. Matter of fact, I just got a comment here. Your live stream on the channel is the biggest I told you so you ever done. There you go. So strongly recommend you do that, and you should distribute that to people who say, what do you think? Why is America collapsing? What do you have to leave? Send them that video or the podcast. Today is a concept called go time. This is a concept I've been teaching for about 10 years now. If you are familiar with my content, then you're about to know or have an idea of where I'm going with this. If you are new, this is going to change your life, change mine. That is the concept of go time. And go time is the time of the year, every year, between January 2nd, which if you're watching this live or soon is tomorrow, January 2nd to the end of May, which is what, May 30th or 31st? I think it's 30th. So it is the first 4 months of the year, calendar year. Now, go time applies 100% to those of you who live in the northern hemisphere. If you live in the southern hemisphere, if you live in South America, Australia, a place like that, it doesn't apply to you as much. It applies somewhat, but not hardcore. If you live in United States, Mexico, Canada, Europe, most of Asia, Dubai, where I live, this applies to you. So here's how it works. The first 5 months of the year are the best time in both your business life and your woman life. Both, I'll cover both. Here's how it works. First 5 months of the year, January, February, March, April, May. In the Northern Hemisphere, a few conditions are all perfect. Number one, the weather is not that good. So people aren't outside as much. They aren't going on trips as much. They are more stuck with not doing anything in their personal lives and or stuck at their jobs or their work. Number one. Number two, there are no major holidays between January and May. Yes, there's Valentine's Day. That's not a major holiday. If people who have kids, see, I'm going to be itching my lips here as I talk, sorry. People who have kids, or maybe really young people, like 18-year-olds might have spring break sometime in March or so. Not a big deal for you. So what this means is the first 4 months of this year, 5 months of the year, people are available. People in business are available. People in your dating life, women in dating life are available. Okay? So next thing is, another factor is you're excited in January about the new year. So you have this boost of excitement into this zone where people are the most available. So they cover the business aspect and the woman aspect separately. Business aspect, the best time to get new clients, the best time to put together new deals, the best time to execute on your new business, the best time to do sales, the best time to actually get out there and sell stuff and make money is January through May. I have had many years where the bulk of the income I made in the year was January through May by far, and I could just kind of coast the rest of the year. Now, I don't coast, but you could. Some companies will do this, small business owners. They'll blow their brains out January, February, March, April, and then they just kind of take the rest of the year off. Not literally, but they kick back the rest of the year. That's how powerful this is. Because once you hit the summertime, I'll cover that when I talk about women's stuff in a minute. So the best time to do outreach, DMs, cold calls, run ads, whatever you do to get customers, contact your local network, all the stuff we talk about in 9-Day Biz Builder, still available, by the way, 9daybizbuilder.com. All those things are more effective January through May. Also, everything I talked about where weather sucks, no holidays, that's you too. So the best time to get shit done in your business, January through May. It's awesome. I've had many years where I got a lot of work done, more work done in January through May than the rest of the year, because go time is so powerful, so critical. Every year, it begins January 2nd, January 1st. Today is kind of a lazy day. It's a holiday. People, relax, hungover, things like that. Then, yes, January 2nd, I always view like a gunshot going off in the morning, and I go hardcore for the next 5 months. Now, I go hardcore all year, but that's me. So that's business. Let's talk about women's stuff now for go time. Go time is the best time, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, to date new girls, to get new girls. The best time of the year. I've shown this on my blogs, my books. I'll cover this I'll give you a summarized version of this all 12 months of the year in terms of dating effectiveness. Okay. Now, I say dating effectiveness. That means going after new women. It has no effect on existing relationships. You have existing FBs, MLTRs, OLTR. None of that changes on these months. I'm talking about going out and getting new women into your life. Here's how it works. The best month of the entire year to get new women is January, right now. This is the best month of the year, coming off December, which is the worst month of the year by far. January is amazing because, again, weather sucks, nothing to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then you have February, March, April. Fantastic months to get laid, bringing new women. So you have January, February, March, April. May, the effectiveness drops a little because the weather starts getting nicer. Women start doing stuff outside and more things to do. But May is still good. So you have the best months of the year to get laid also, January through May. January, February, March, April, best months. May is a decent month. Then you have June, July, and August. That's summer. Summer is okay to get laid, but not great. Because why? The weather's good. Women are out doing stuff. That's when people travel. That's when people have family over. That's when people visit family. They have this family shit. It's also difficult for business too, because people are doing shit in the summer. Their calendars are more full in the summer of stuff. They're going on vacation. They're going out of town, all that shit. So can you get laid in the summer? Yes, I've gotten laid in the summer, but it's harder than January through April. Okay. Then you have June, July, August, September. You've got September. It's okay. It's like May, September, and October. They're okay, mediocre months for dating. Then you get into November, winter gets cold. In the winter, I've talked about this in my blogs. Women like to boyfriend guys up because they don't want to be without a boyfriend in the wintertime. Then they dump them around February. It's how women work. Long-term monogamy doesn't work. So you have that, plus you have Thanksgiving, United States, and the holidays. So November's not that great. Not good at all. December sucks. I said, matter of fact, when you hit about December 10th, it's not even worth trying to date at all. If you live in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, if you live somewhere like Singapore, where the weather's still nice and Christmas isn't that big of a deal, then that's different. Talk about people in the Northern Hemisphere. Cool? So that's this works. So we have now just started. You're going to start tomorrow morning. Go time. Best time of the year for your business. Best time of year for you to get laid. Both. So your job, in my opinion, is to take the next 5 months and hit it really hard. You have no idea how hard I'm going to be hitting the next 3 months because I go by quarters. So I have my entire quarter planned out in detail, down to the minutia, because I have a big goal that I've worked on for many years coming up next year. I'm going to try to hit that goal this year instead of wait till next year, which means I need to be hardcore January, February, and March. I'm going to go crazy. I've kind of taken a day off, half the day. I'm doing this, doing a few little things. Took it easy today. Took it easy yesterday because not a lot of time off starting tomorrow. I'm going to blow my fucking brains out. I can't wait. Do not squander this. And if you just watched my last podcast on the Unchained CEO channel, I told you why you shouldn't squander this. You don't have any more time left. If you read my blog post, just came up this yesterday or today, I forget. You don't have time anymore. Hit it hard. Then when you hit, April or June, whatever, let's see, end of May, you can look back at all the stuff you accomplished, and then you can feel good about the year. You keep going, but you won't feel bad that you blew those first 4 or 5 months. You can feel good that you focused on that, and you're like, wow, look at the results I've gotten in the last 4 or 5 months. So by June, you can look back and go, whoa, look at all the shit that I've done in my business, in my financial life. Look how many new FBs and MLTRs I've hooked up. This is great. I do this every year. These days, I don't look at years, I look at quarters, but same deal. Instead of looking at go time for me, I'm looking at January, February, March. Then at the end of March, I plan the next 3 months. That's same deal, though. I'm focusing on the next 3 months like I'm not focusing on another 3 months this year because this is go time. Cool? Cool. And that's it. That's the message of this podcast. Don't squander the next 5 months. Invest in the next 5 months. Then those of you who take a little time off in the summer, which I don't, but if you want to do that, you can take the time off with a non-guilty conscience. A lot of times, and I've been a victim of this, you take time off because you had it pre-scheduled and you kind of feel guilty because you haven't gotten your shit done. You didn't work quite as hard as you should have. So you're taking your little vacation. You're like, do I really deserve this vacation? Because last 3 or 4 months I worked, but I didn't work hard. You don't want to do that. You want to have complete guilt-free time off. That's what I have now. When I take time off, I'm a workaholic. I love to work, so I still feel a little antsy, but I don't feel bad about, well, do I deserve this? I'm like, no, I killed it last several months. I deserve this time off. I'm good. Very, very happy. You can't truly rejuvenate when you feel guilty about taking time off. So you don't want that to happen to you this summer when you start taking a little time off this summer. Now, those of you who are like me or aspire to be, higher income guys, like 6 figures, 7 figures, that kind of stuff, you can't take summer off. You got to keep working. But for you normal people who want to pursue the basic baselines of Alpha Male 2.0, which are, let's repeat them for those you don't know, 85%, see, I'm a little off today. Sorry. Drugs are fucking me up. 88,000. Let me zen for a minute. $85,000 a year US, location independent per year or more. That is pre-tax net in your location dependent business. That means you earn about $7,000 a month profit from your business before you pay taxes, 100% location dependent. So you can be anywhere in the world and the money keeps coming in. That's goal number 1. That's baseline number 1 of Alpha 2.0. Baseline number 2, you are having sex with at least 2 women, not 1. That's monogamy, and that will not sustain you long-term. That doesn't work. Long-term monogamy does not work. What the fuck are you doing? 2, not 0. That's angry incel. You can't be an angry incel. Alpha Male 2.0 is about happiness. You're not going to be happy if you're not getting laid. If you're getting laid 3 or 4 times a year like these MGTOWs. No. So you're having sex with 2 or more if you want. 2 is all you need. 2 women regularly. That means within every 6 weeks, who are at least cute to you. They cannot be average. They cannot be ugly to you. They have to be at least cute or hot. That's it. You can establish the second baseline within the next 5 months, starting from 0, sooner than that. You can get close to 7,000 a month, or you can achieve 7,000 a month from now till 5 months from now. You can't. Maybe not 7,000, but you get to 2 or 3 or 4,000. You can do both those things the next 5 months. You can make the complete conversion from beta male or angry alpha male 1.0. I was watching some Wes Watson videos the other day. Conversion from beta male to alpha male 1.0 to alpha 2.0 within the next 5 months. And you get it done. You get it done and dusted and handled for the rest of your life. You can do it. Don't fuck around. Sadly, I know statistically, most of you are going to fuck around. Most of you are going to say, oh, that's a really good idea. And you're not going to do it. In about 2 weeks from now, you'll be right back to your life. Bitching about politics and, having one-itis for the girl you're dating and, all that bullshit. Worrying about your mom and So that's it. That's it. That is the message for today's podcast. I'll answer some of your questions. Then I'm going to go. But that's it. Oh, one more quick thing. We're answer questions. Those of you who want residency in Mexico, let me tell you why residency in Mexico is awesome. Because Mexico is one of the few countries on earth, I have this, where permanent residency is true permanent residency. Most countries, when you have residency in a country, and they say temporary or permanent, permanent's bullshit. You still have to renew it. They just say, well, temporary residency, you got to renew every year or two. Permanent residency, you got to renew every 5 years. Well, that's not permanent. You're lying to me. But Mexico, when you get permanent residency in Mexico, okay, it is permanent the rest of your life. You don't have to go there. Once you achieve permanent residency, there's some requirements, takes a few years. You have to have temporary residency for a while. I've got permanent residency now. It's permanent for the rest of your life. Then, if you spend 6 months, a year in Mexico, 3 years in a row, they'll give you a passport. And Mexico passport's an awesome passport. So if you're interested in Mexico residency, we have a residency event coming up where it's also a business intensive that Billy is doing in Cancun. Let me bring this up here. Hang on. This is going to be on February 23rd to the 28th in Cancun. All food, flights, and lodging is included. You pay a flat fee, and we pay for everything. It's not we. It's Billy's company. I've handed all the residency events over to Billy now, so it's Billy's company called Boss Cooperative. She's handling everything. I will not be at this event, just let you know. But this will get you coaching with Billy and business sessions with Billy and some other coaches she's going to have there in Cancun in an all-inclusive kick-ass resort. Cancun is one of my favorite places in the world. All-inclusive food. You pay one flat fee. Billy pays for your flight. She pays for your residency. She pays for your hotel. She pays for your food. It's awesome. She did one last year, and I've talked to a bunch of guys, and they loved it. It was, matter of fact, some of the guys who actually work with me did her event. And you get legal residency in Mexico, which is the cheapest residency to get for most Westerners. It's very inexpensive. A lot less expensive than Dubai. It's even less expensive than Paraguay. And the requirements are less. It's awesome. So February 23rd to 28th, the link is below. I'll verbally say the link. It's a little long. It's bosscooperative.com/get Mexico residency. And that's separated by hyphens. So get-Mexico-residency. Billy needs to work on our links. I'll have a talk to her about that. Matter of fact, let me put a little thing here in the banner. Hang on a second here. To get residency in Cancun, Mexico. I'll put a banner at the bottom. www.bosscooperative.com/get-Mexico-residency. There we go. Cool. All right. I guess I don't need the ticker if I'm going to leave that up there, huh? Hang on 1 second. I'll answer your questions. Cool. Okay. Cool. That's it. Oh, and Business Builder. Business Builder is still open until we have 4 more days. www.bizbuilder.com. Enrollment is still open till January 4th. You can still enroll for that. We start on January 11th. Perfect time to join Business Builder because this is go time. You will get that shit done if you join our program. Oh my God. You start your business in January, 90-day program. It's actually, we added a month, so now it's 4-month program. You will be making money before May, well before May. 90daybizbuilder.com. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Let's answer some of your questions. I couldn't get a lot of your questions the other day. Let me zoom up because I can't see anything. I'll hang out for as long as I can. Not super long today. because it's a holiday. Is Philippines rising, maintaining, or stagnating economically and culturally in the next 25 years? Rising slowly. Why did you choose Paraguay or Philippines for a second home? I wanted to be in South America. I think that region is important. Philippines is a little humid for me. What was another reason? I love Paraguay. It's an emotional thing. I fell in love with Paraguay. Those three reasons. Oh, easier to get residency there than Philippines. You can get residency in Philippines, but you have to stay there a while. Paraguay is much easier to get residency. Easier residency program. Those reasons. Would you recommend all your photos be professionally taken? Wouldn't you get less results because some women might think it's AI and use a selfie in the mix? No, and don't fantasize about things that never happened. No. Just lost $500 in poker. Pretty bummed. Okay, that sucks. Would you do a part 2 video of why America's collapsing, or even looking at Western Europe, if it's blatantly obvious? I don't think I need to after that video. Really? Do you need more after that video? Do you need more? I think I would just be feeding your Lissig tendencies. Can you give me more facts and data? Because I'm a Lissig. So no, I want you to take action. Western Europe is worse off than the United States in many respects. I mean, go to London, go to the UK, see how happy they are. Minimum amount of days in a week to focus on woman goals, 1 MLTR, 1 FB, while building a business on the side, specifically doing online dating. I said this many times, 3 to 4 big blocks of time where you're swiping and messaging and going on first dates. 3 to 4 blocks. Blocks are like 2 to 3 hour blocks. So maybe you do a block of time Monday night, take Tuesday night off, you do a big block of time Wednesday night, do a big block of time Thursday night, and do a block of time on Saturday. And that's good. About 10 to 15 hours a week. I sent your video to my friend. He agreed with it all. Hopefully I found you a new fan. Cool. Like, what would the minimum days to go focus purely on getting get results while building your service? Well, I follow the rule of 2. You only work on 2 improvement areas at a time. So I hope those are the only 2 things you're working on: building your business and getting those 2 girls. Don't try to lose weight. Don't try to lift weights. Don't try to learn karate. Don't try to get a promotion at work. Those are the only 2 things you're working on. 15 hours a week for your business, 15 hours a week for women. That's the bottom line. Dubai Burj Khalifa celebration video was awesome. I saw it on the Global News YouTube channel. You live in Dubai. How was the New Year's celebration in person? I was there. I was about 3 blocks down. I was watching the whole thing. Just about every year here when I'm here for New Year's, I watch it. That's amazing. I wish it was longer. It was 6 minutes long, which is amazing. But yeah, that's the shit, dude. First time, not one of the first times. A few years ago, Pink Firefly and I, before I officially moved here, but when I was visiting here a lot, I was getting ready to make that change. I spent $15,000 on a nice suite where it's right there in the fountains that look right into the Burj Khalifa. It's one of the hotels across the fountain there. And her and I just sat in the balcony and watched. It was great. Loved it. Yeah, I was just there. It's great. Was out last night with the homies. Ran to a girl I was feeling at school. She was lit. Are you black? You must be black. She was lit. Yo, she was lit. I got to talk like a black guy. She was lit, yo. We talked, and she said that her mom said that I'm not the type of guy she goes for because I'm black. Oh, there you go. Well, when you are a opposite race to who you're trying to date and you're not white, so that's many times, you got to put in more activity, more numbers. 20, 30, 40% more numbers. My son is black. Same deal for him. If you're black, you're going after white girls. You can't rely on, oh, that girl likes me. You got to put in 20, 30, 40% more numbers than a white guy does. Now, the good news is you're black, so you're cooler than white guys. White guys are nerds. Black guys are cool. And you should read my article about how black guys can hook up with white girls, my blog. You got to tone down the, yo, man, you got to tone that shit down a little bit. A little bit, not a lot, a little. Because black guys have a tendency to overdo it. Black guys are overconfident, which is good. Better than being a pussy, but overconfident scares girls, especially the little white girls. Dubai Amar have the most epic New Year shows. They fucking do, yeah. And it's amazing because in Dubai, you're watching this one show, and if you just turn your head over here, you're looking like at the ocean. You see another fucking thing. There's like, what? There's 6 major fireworks shows every New Year's Eve here in Dubai that are bigger than any like Western, even just one of them alone is bigger than any Western city. You got 6 of them. You got the JBR, you've got the Creek, you've got the Burj Khalifa, you've got, I think they have one in Sharjah, and they have one more I'm forgetting. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm confused by something you say, and it's not clear. If a guy has neither his finances nor dating handled, which one should he do first, as you say he can't do both at the same time? So that's not what I say. I didn't say that. What I say is you can only focus on 2 areas of improvement at the same time. These 2 areas can be anything. Lose weight, start my business. Those are 2. Now, if you say get new girls, that's 3. Oh, I can't. So if you say get some girls, start my business, that's it. You can do it at the same time. What I said the other guy, you can't do anything else. You can say, well, I also want to lift weights to get big muscles, and I also want to lose weight, and I want to get my black belt, and I want to get my promotion at work, because that's what guys do. No, pick 2. So you can if you're strategic and you're not doing anything else. Everything else is on maintenance mode. That's okay. Then, which one do you choose first? Depends on you. What I always ask guys is, if you're not getting laid and or, let's say, wait, you're not getting laid and you're poor, or you're stuck at home with your parents, whatever, okay? Which problem pisses you off the most right now? Every guy's different about this. For me, when I was in my 20s and didn't have anything, it was not having any money. I said, I can get laid later. I need money. This sucks, be poor. Fuck this. So I got off my ass, I focused on my work. Then later I clicked over to women. That's what I did. You can do both if you have nothing else, if you're doing nothing else. Some guys like, no, man, I need to get laid. Fuck this. I need more money, but I need to get laid. I've been laid in 2 years. I'm going crazy. Great, get laid. That's the answer. Never had a girl tell you that before. I've had a feeling that a lot of white girls feel that way before. Yes, but there's a lot of white girls who love to fuck black guys. You ignore the girls who don't like you and focus on the ones that do. There are a lot of, I know you're going to be shocked when I say this to you. There's a lot of pretty girls who would never fuck me. I know that's shocking because I'm the best looking man on earth. I know. So guess what I do? I don't focus on them. I focus the ones who do want to fuck me. And it works great. Andrew Tate said that Romania is the fastest growing country in Europe. Thoughts? False. I don't think there's data showing that. I think Montenegro is growing faster. I don't remember. You can't just say Andrew Tate says. You do the research and see if he's accurate. Whenever anyone says anything, including me, do your own research and see if what they're saying is true. I know this is shocking. Some guy says things on the internet that are not true, including Andrew. Can a man and a woman be friends? Have you ever catch feelings for Billy or vice versa? No, I've never caught feelings for anyone I've worked with. And Billy is not my type. Can a man and a woman be friends? You should not be friends. You should not do friend zone. I have about 3 articles in my blog, so I go into this in detail. Go to alphamail20.com/blog. Click the article archive, look for friend zone. I got at least 3 articles there why you should never be in friend zone. So what that means is you can be friends with women you're not physically attracted to. So I'm not physically attracted to Billy at all. She's like my sister. So I can be friends with her. I don't want to fuck her. So it's okay. So you can be friends with like women you're not attracted to, old ladies. I have a lot of buddies in the business world who are like old business ladies. They're great, but I don't want to fuck any of them. But if you are friends with a girl you think is cute, you want to fuck, no, you're a pussy beta male. No, get the fuck out of there. Be friends with hot girls you're fucking. That's what I do. Or vice versa. You see many people say can't be friends with the opposite sex without catching feelings. No, that's not true, but you'll want to fuck her and then you're a pussy. The problem is you can't be friends. Men and women can be friends. The problem is the man always wants to fuck the woman, which means it's a one-sided relationship if they're not having sex. So you should never be friends, platonic friends with women you find attractive. Be friends with men and be friends with women you don't want to fuck. Those should be your friends. If you want to be friends with a hot girl, make sure you're fucking her. I'm friends with many girls, but I fuck them. How is the best time today? Why did my little ticker thing stop? What happened here? Fuck. Hang on. Oh, it stops so that thing's on the screen? Oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'll learn something here. Okay, hang on. I could have fucked up my questions here. How is it the best time to get new dating leads if you're a day gamer? How do you mean if your source is online game? I don't understand your question. Please rewrite it. I don't know if your English is your second language. I don't understand your question. Please rewrite it. You've mentioned it's pointless moving from the UK to somewhere like Portugal or Eastern Europe, which I agree. Correct. Would you say this would have been a viable option 10 years ago? No, I would have said it was 20 years ago, not 10. 20, yes. No, Europe started going down the toilet, the mid, I don't know, 2015. That was 10 years ago, so no. That's when Angela Merkel started her shit, and no. My MLTR tested positive for chlamydia and showed me the test, then took medicine for it. She says she assumed it was for me because I'm non-monogamous, and she tested negative a few months before. I tested negative 3 times before and after. Is she lying? Could it be a false positive? How should I confront her? First of all, you're feeling very aggressive about this. You don't confront women. Number one, if you tested 3 times, you're good. You don't have it. You're fine. And you can show her, look, here's my tests. I've had women accuse me of shit like that. I got an STD for you. No, you didn't. You got it from your fucking boyfriend, you fucker. Here's my test. I just got tested. I don't have it. And we wear condoms. Okay, but if you're not wearing condoms, you get tested. So if you got tested for it 3 times, you're good. False positives are extremely rare. She probably got it. She probably fucked someone else, which she's allowed to do if she's an MLTR. So I wouldn't confront her. I would say, I don't have it. You got it. We have to start wearing condoms now because clearly you're out doing other things, which is fine. You're allowed to do it, but you can't threaten my health. So we got to start wearing condoms. Now, if you say, but I don't want to wear condoms on her, get a new girl. I watched Mad Men and was wondering, does it accurately predict cheating during that period or is it exaggerated? I have not focused on that show. I've watched bits and pieces of that show. I can't definitively answer that question. From what I saw, it is not exaggerated, no. Men today don't realize, especially right-wing traditional Christian guys, don't realize how much men back in the days before dating was a thing. So prior to the mid-1960s, early 60s, 50s, 40s, how much married men cheated. Because the way it worked prior to 1965 is you didn't really date. It was like Pakistan now. As soon as you graduated high school, you got married because you weren't allowed to have sex until you got married. So everyone fucking just got married right out of high school so they can fuck. My mom would tell me all about this. My parents were in that generation. They're like, oh yeah, you got married right out of high school. Like, why do people get married so fast? She goes, because people wanted to have sex. You couldn't have sex if you were married, with exceptions. There are some rare exceptions. Normal people didn't do that. But then monogamy doesn't work. So guess what the men would do? Cheat like dogs. Talk to some old grandpas about the shit they did when they were married. And yeah, people don't realize. Long-term monogamy does not work. It never has, ever. It's never worked. Marriage has worked. Doesn't work anymore. Long-term marriage has worked when men were cheating, but monogamy has never worked. Men were never designed to be monogamous. Neither will women. I was watching Owen Cook, and I was surprised to see women in LA seminar attending as his students. Have you gotten female a student for your Alpha 2.0 content? Yes, there's a small percentage of my audience who are women. Let's see. Have I coached a few? Yes, I've coached a few women. Sometimes I coach with lesbian women. I've had several of those. They're the exception, but yeah, they're out there. Why women post monogamy on their Tinder profile? Societal programming tells them they have to do that. Does Alpha Male 2.0 teachings work on them? Of course it does. Ignore what women say on their profiles, especially if they're under the age of 33. I don't even read profiles, and you shouldn't either. If they're under the age of 33. If they're over 33, then they're serious. If they say, listen, you're not getting laid until the 5th date, yeah. But if a 27-year-old says 25, ignore it. People today often claim that traditional marriages, male infidelity was less common than it is now. Is that true? No. Historians like Stephanie Corin says that actually male infidelity decreased. It's decreased now? Decreased historically? I don't think you're saying that correctly. Male infidelity was less common than it is now. Is that true? No, that's not true. Now, some cultures it was true. Like during the Dark Ages, people were very religious and they were very scared about cheating because you could get the plague and you would go to hell. So there were certain segments of populations were more less fidelitas that were more faithful? Yes. But on the overall, no. And if it was, it's by 10%, 15, not much. Men don't fuck one woman their entire lives. Statistically speaking, there are exceptions. That's not how men work. That's not how men have ever worked. It's just silly. This is also the time of year you'd be dieting to be shirtless on the boat all summer. That's right. Yeah, conversion of existing leads makes sense. You can't do day game year round in cold winter unless you can't do day game. Yeah, that's correct. You got to be strategic about day game if you live in a certain region, right? I know you're not a day game specialist, but if you think cold approach would work, you think it's more effective to ask her for her Instagram socials or her phone number. I'm not a day game guy, so this is a grain of salt. But I have talked to women. No, don't get her Instagram. You'll be one of 10,000 guys. Phone number is always better. Always, always. Now, if she resists giving you the phone number, you get her Instagram, then your odds are low. Do you literally believe white people will be a minority in Europe at some point? I don't literally believe it. That is the fact. That's not my belief. That is a fact. Did you watch my thing 2 days ago where I showed you the birth rates? Yes. And they're going to keep importing Northern Africans forever because that's the only way they can grow their GDP rates. Now, at a minimum, white people they'll be a minority in the world. At a minimum in Europe, it'll be not the minority, but what do they call it? What do they call it? The largest of several groups, a plurality. Sorry, I can't think very well right now, but anyway, it's not hard to believe this would be the case. They're already a minority in a few major UK cities. Aren't white people the minority in London right now? I think they are. London's like Miami. Yeah. I told a group of women about non-monogamy and they all got mad. Of course they will. Why are you lecturing women about non-monogamy? That's a waste of your time. You're being very silly. And said monogamy is the only way for a relationship. Of course they said that. Though women would agree, as Andrew Tate says, his women always listen to him. Okay, stop lecturing women about non-monogamy. That's very stupid of you. I prefer May to November months for productivity. I guess I work better in the warmer months. I thrust through and it's not really any different. I guess I have more energy in the warmer weather. Some people are like that. Yeah, some people are like that. How do you get women to listen? I already told you, stop. Kaiser, stop it. Not just digging, even clubs, social events are half emptied in winters. Correct. Oh, wait. Clubs. Yes, that's true. True. Online dating. And day game can work unless it's freezing. Women still go to malls on look, I've done day game. I've done it. Matter of fact, I just talked to someone last week or a week before. No, not last week. 3 weeks ago here in Dubai. Just kind of on the fly. Nothing happened. Here's what happened to me. As I've talked about in great detail, I'm trying to reduce the number of women. So I stumbled across a woman at one of the big malls here who had like this to me, my amazing perfect body where she's tiny and short with big tits and big ass, but she's tiny. I was like, oh yeah. And then my dick took over. I started talking to her. And then halfway the conversation, I went, Caleb, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're trying to reduce them. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah. Like, well, nice meeting you. And I left. Sometimes it's hard to turn off. Anyway. But, winter in Dubai is sunny and beautiful. So I got to put that in context, right? Do you think in the West some people are getting interested in arranged marriages? No, I do not think that. Or is it some echo chamber red pill discussion? I think, yeah, and you should get out of those red pill echo chambers. There's a YouTube channel called Leonex where he made a video asking 100 girls in Paraguay on a date. You should watch it as you have residence in Paraguay. I don't care, but that's interesting. Thoughts on the death of President Jimmy Carter? Did your parents like him as a president? As you said, they are Democrats. Also, how was Bill Clinton and George Bush Jr.? Did you like them? Jimmy Carter was one of the worst presidents of my lifetime, but he was the nicest, the best man who was president in my lifetime. I was born when Richard Nixon became president. So those are all my presidents. Those people are all corrupt assholes, all of them. Damn near all of them. They're all horrible people. Levels of horrible. Reagan wasn't as horrible, but he was still horrible. But Jimmy Carter was like salt of the earth, man. Donald Trump still owns all his companies, which is a blatant violation of the emoluments clause, one of the many reasons he should have been impeached. He has shit all over the world. He was getting like $75 million from the Saudi Arabian government while he was president. You can't that's a fucking felony. Anyway, I know you Trumpers don't care. Jimmy Carter, when he was president, he had a peanut farm. He sold his peanut farm when he became president because it was a conflict of interest, because that's what you're supposed to fucking do. He was a fuck up as president, though. Did my parents like Jimmy Carter? Yeah, they did. Back in that day, yeah, they did. They liked him. Yeah. Did I like Bill Clinton? No. Bill Clinton was horrible. Bill Clinton was one of the direct causes of 9/11. No, Bill Clinton was awful. George Bush Jr. No, he was one of the worst. He's probably the worst president of my lifetime, which is why I didn't like Trump, because Trump basically copied George Bush Jr.'s reign. So no, I hate all of them. You've had 5-6 presidents now who are horrible in a row. Joe Biden, horrible. Donald Trump, horrible for many reasons I've listed. Barack Obama, horrible. George W. Bush, probably the worst. Bill Clinton, horrible. You got to go all the way back to Bush Sr. to have a president that wasn't horrible. He was bad, but he wasn't horrible. And Reagan was okay. That's what happens when you vote for the lesser of two evils, you stupid Americans. I had a monster 8-figure year and feel guilty and bored taking these 2 weeks off. I'm ready to get back to business. Well, then I would work on that. First of all, don't take 2 weeks off. That's too much. I agree with you on that one. Don't take 2 weeks off. My God, dude. Take 3 days off. You won't feel guilty with 3 days. 4 days. And if you feel guilty at 1 or 2 days, you got a problem. That's a mental problem you need to work on. I don't think it's healthy. Don't take 2 weeks off. I haven't taken 2 weeks off in 20 years. I don't even know when I take 2 weeks off. That's a lot. You always talk about women cheating. No, I don't. Do you think your mother cheated on your father? She did, in a way, I'll tell you in a second. Or your daughter cheated on her boyfriend. So let me see. Let's see. If you found out they did, how would you handle it? They're both adults. They can do whatever they want. I don't lecture people, unlike you, Kaiser. You're very outcome dependent, Kaiser JJP. You're very outcome dependent. Got to relax a little bit. Be more outcome independent. You're very outcome dependent. You need to be more outcome independent. So I teach here. Do I think my mom cheated on my dad? She did, emotionally. My mom, while she was married to my dad, went on Facebook, looked up her high school fling, and started having this little relationship with him over Facebook. Then she flew out to meet him and had some dates and shit and did shit. I don't know if she had sex while she was married to my dad. Then eventually told my dad. So she did. That counts as cheating, especially in the woman's world. So she did. Then they got divorced. She divorced him. Has my daughter cheated on her boyfriend? No, she has not, because my daughter is a homebody. She stays home all day, never goes anywhere. She's like a hermit. She's on her computer all day. She's one of those computer nerd girls. So while he goes out and works, because she wears the pants, of course. She's a dominant. Her mom was a dominant. My daughter's a dominant. And not married. My daughter's with a beta male. So no, I would be very surprised if she did. It's possible. She is stronger than him. So if someone were to cheat, now, if my daughter or her boyfriend were to cheat, if one of them were to cheat, it would absolutely be my daughter. It would not be him. Not be him at all. It would not be. It would be her. What would I do if I found out? I'd say, okay, their life, they're adults. They can do whatever they want. Monogamy doesn't work. The median average time for sex is about 5 minutes. I would need to see data on that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe. I've heard stories from women how fast guys go. Guys like thrust, come. I mean, what a nightmare. But okay. How long is your sessions? About 20 minutes. As hot women can make ejaculate quick. That's a problem with you, not the woman. I go 20 minutes. It's no problem. And I'm with some of the most beautiful women on earth, and that's literal. So I don't have that problem. So if you are with a hot girl and you come within 2 minutes, that's a problem you need to fix. It's not because she's girl's hot. It's because you got a problem. And women hate that. Women have told me so many stories of guys who just are quick shots. Pump, pumpity, pump, come. You're like, God damn, what's the point of having sex then? Fix it. Have you seen the same girl on Tinder, meaning she was a match, but for some reason she deleted the account? A couple months later, she is back. Sure, I've seen that. Don't care. I like women with a tattoo and piercing in their belly. I don't know why. Well, if you fuck what you like, doesn't matter why you like it. We all like our own. Men are very eclectic in what they like sexually. You decide what you like and you go fuck that. There's no judgment. As long as it's legal and consenting adults, it doesn't matter. If you like fat girls, go fuck fat girls. You like tatted up chicks, go fuck you like chicks with shaved heads, go fuck chicks with shaved heads. If you like little Eskimo girls, go fuck little, whatever you like, as long as it's legal consenting adults. I'm going to throw there for legal purposes. Doesn't matter, man. I have a type. I like tiny, short, blonde chicks who are little teeny tiny. I can pick up with one hand, but with big titties and big A's. That's what I like. What if Elon Musk met with the Israel prime minister and Trump is not happy and people are saying how to immigrant took Donald Trump job? Yeah, stop watching politics. Start your location in a business. When dating sometimes becomes exhausting, how do you know from when it's coming from a healthy mindset versus coming from a lack of skill? I've been getting dates laid, but I feel like it should be coming easier to me. If I'm getting results, I don't care. So I don't look at lack of skill or my stress. I look at my results. I'm results oriented. Am I getting laid? Yes. Are they women who are attracted to me? If the answer is yes, I'm successful. Now I need to tweak. Now I just need to adjust and A/B split test some new stuff and just improve my results. But I don't ask myself, was this hard to do? Well, of course it's hard to do when you start, yeah. So I look at results. I don't look at my feelings, look at results. Now, if you say, am I getting laid? No. I've been busting my ass 3 months, I'm not getting laid. You're doing something wrong. If I say, are you getting laid? You say yes. Then my next question is, are they cute? At least cute to you to go, no. Well, you're doing a lot of men do. I don't know why you're fucking women who are ugly. A lot of men do this. Get out of that habit. Start going after hotter girls. I love to do the Mexico wrestling trip once I got through the 2-3 PCM to over 90 business. Understand. Thoughts on Jack Denmo being convicted of grape? I have no idea who this is. And if your daughter was a victim of grape, you could say rape, how would you react? I would kill him. If it was a violent rape, I'd kill him. If it was a date rape, I don't know. If it was violent, so as I've discussed my blogs, rape, there's several flavors of rape. If my daughter was walking along a city street in the middle of the day and some guy grabbed her and threw her, kidnapped her, got her to an alley and assaulted her like that, I'd kill him. He'd be dead. I'd find him, I'd kill him. Andrew Tate said he would grab a gun and will pew him. Would you do the same? If I could do it, yeah. And now I don't want to go to prison, so I'd have to think about how to do that strategically. He'd be in big fucking trouble. You physically assault anyone in my family, God help you. Because I have resources. And I don't mind spending a few days in jail. I've done it. I'll spend a few days in jail to put you in the hospital. I've done it. Not for that reason, but I've been in jail, so I don't fear jail. So yeah, and I know how to find people. I have people who can find people. There. Red pill guys say 95% of Hollywood men actors cheat, correct? Do you think that's true or an exaggeration? I think that's true. Or close to it. We don't know the exact number. Yes, the vast majority do. Are all these men possibly in an open relationship like RP guys say? A lot of them are. So you would be surprised the number of celebrities, because I've spoken to a few of these guys. I've signed NDAs. Yes, you'd be surprised. These Tom Cruise level guys, I say, now look, here's the deal. You're going to date me, but here's the deal. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm not going to just fuck you. Sylvester Stallone, his wife's talked about this. His wife in an interview from back in 2006. She's like, look, I get it. When he's out on movie sets and I'm not around, of course. So yeah, a lot of them are. And as I've said in my blogs, women should expect that. If you are dating someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, Stallone, Tom Cruise, Will Smith before he lost his mind, all these famous, good-looking, Tiger Woods, I said this. You should expect these guys are banging their chicks. You should never be shocked like, what did he do? I can't believe this. You're stupid, bitch. What to say when a woman, not that it excuses men cheating. Men cheating is lying. You should not cheat. I've never cheated on a woman my entire life. There's blame on both sides. What to say when a woman asks if I'm having sex with other women because I match with her friend and sister? Oh, that's so funny. Well, then if you match other people she knows, you say, well, of course I did. I'm swiping a lot of girls. Of course I did. Why is that surprise? That's not a surprise. Caleb, I missed the nerd live stream. Well, then go watch it. It's on this channel. Do you think George R. R. Martin will finish his series? No, and you're stupid to think if he did. I said 10 years ago he wasn't. And I said you were stupid 10 years ago. And all these stupid George R. R. Martin fans go, well, I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't know. Let's hope. Well, I don't know. They've been saying that for 10 years. Like, no, we do know. He's not going to fucking finish it. He has said this. He has given you so many hints about this. He finally said he probably is not going to. Like 3 months ago, he finally came out and said it. Here's how we know before he even said it. It takes him 5 years to do one book on average. 5 years to do one book because he's very slow. 5 years to do one book. He has 2 more books to do, right? The first of the 2 more books, he said he was 75% done, and it's been something like 15 years. 13 years? Yeah. Okay, so it's 13 years to get 75% done on book 1. So if you do the math on that, how many more years to get that 25% left over? And then the next fucking book before he dies. He's never going to finish it. He made it too complicated. The challenge with Gardner fiction writers where they don't have a plan is that they don't know how to do endings. Stephen King has the same problem. The difference is Stephen King is a more professional writer than R.R. Martin is, so he knows how to finish books and crank out product. The problem with Stephen King is his endings suck, don't they? His stories are great. The first 80% of a Stephen King book's great. You get that last 20%, you're like, what the fuck is this? Because he doesn't plan it out. As compared to someone like Brandon Sanderson who plans it all out. And it's like amazing. I'm not saying one model is better than the other, but I'm just saying there's a disadvantage to architect writing. There's 2 types of fantasy writers. There's architects and there's gardeners. If you didn't know, you probably shouldn't use this lingo. You're an architect, I'm an architect. You plan out the whole novel in advance. You kind of outline it. Now, you can change as you write it, but you have this general outline of what you're doing. And then you write it. The gardener has some ideas and an idea of the ending, and he just writes, and things happen, and he doesn't plan a thing, and just goes off into tangents, and he just figures it out. There's pros and cons of both. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But George R. R. Martin is an extreme gardener, and he just made it way too complicated. And he's admitted this. Thoughts on Helio Gracie doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu until his passing. Are you the same guy who gave me the thought? You're giving me lots of news stories. I don't pay attention to news. I'm too busy working. I have no idea what we're talking about. John Anthony Lifestyle had a student who did a boot camp and got 200 numbers in 5 days through cold approach in Miami. What is the most out of the ordinary results one of your student got in regards to dating? A bunch. I don't teach hardcore boot camp day game. I have a few guys. So the guy I like the most is a guy I coached once where, let's see, how old was he? I don't remember how old he was. Big fat guy, fat, not overweight, fat. And I was coaching him like, bro, you really should lose weight first. Lose 100 pounds. I'm not joking. Lose about 100 pounds. Then focus your date. He goes, no. I want to date right now. I want some hot girls right now. Caleb, I'm willing to do the work. I said, okay. He was worked in a dental hygienist office. I forget. It's a few years ago. He fucking did it. He got 2 MLTRs and the girls were cute. Now they weren't gorgeous, okay, but they were cute. And if I showed pictures of these 2 girls he got, not just he fucked them once, MLTRs. Took him a few months. He did it. Big fat guy, fat. And these girls were cute. If I showed pictures of these 2 girls, most of you would fuck these girls. Stuff like that. I don't teach get laid dating. I teach getting 2, 3, 4 women on long-term rotation. I'm not a pickup artist. With the West collapsing, do you also think sociopathic tendencies increasing as a sign of collapse? I don't know. That would be more tied into the suicidal stuff and the drug use. Heading to Thailand next month. Are starting your 90-day business builder as soon as I get back? Cool. If I buckle down and take course seriously, how long approximately till I start making money to live there for good? Thailand, you don't need very much money. You'd be making $2,000 a month or more, $3,000-4,000 a month in the first 45 days if you hit it hard. No problem. And you do what we tell you. The people who succeed in the 90-day business builder, the people who do what we tell them to do. The people who don't succeed, people who don't do what we tell them to do. Does your wife friends get jealous of her because of you, or does she complain? If so, does she complain to you? Does my wife's friends get jealous of her because of me? Yeah, there's been some problems with her sister. She has a sister, and her sister, had a problem. Her sister's married to this normal guy, like a teacher, and Pink Firefly married me, and she's like, so yeah, there's been some issues. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Plus, women are jealous of how Pink Firefly looks too. Yeah, that aspect of it too. Thoughts on Tom Leykis saying God created fat women so poor men can have someone to marry? I think it's a cute joke. When working on the LI independent business as a commission sales role that pays good, the best way to get money fast when waiting to earn in the LI business. I'm going to try this one more time. When working on the LI independent business as a commission sales role that pays good, the best way to get money. You need to rewrite your question. I don't understand it. Hi, Caleb. Awesome content. I have a question. What do you do or say when a woman asks too many questions about what you do, career? She asks them too early, like checking off a list, no vibe, not being social. If she's over the age of 33, that's standard. So I don't know how old you're talking about. So if she's over 33, was this woman over age 33? If you're like, well, yeah, how'd you know? That's normal for them. Under 33, you answer it generally, and you redirect back with a question of your own. And you keep redirecting back to your own questions. You have to answer the question. You cannot answer it. That's a red flag. Answer the question. Give her one or two little details, then reflect back to her. So what do you do for a living? Now, again, can't do that if she's over 33. Well, if she's over 33, she's a provider hunter. She has a checklist, and she's going down a checklist. It doesn't matter what you say or don't say. Caleb, what the fuck? How is Dubai during Ramadan? The only thing you notice as a Westerner living in Dubai during Ramadan is the government offices are hard to work with because no one's there. They shut down a lot. So if you want to get anything done like residency and shit like that, or like move your corporations around, which I do a lot of, that stuff's a pain in the ass during Ramadan. Other than that, and all the taxi drivers, no one's eating. Nobody's eating. So the restaurants during the day, they're empty. It's great. During the day, at night, everyone goes out and parties and eats. And you can't do things like get in a taxi and start eating something. You're not allowed to eat in the car during the day when the sun is up. At night, you can't. They get pissed. I forgot once. I was starving. I had something. He's like, you can't. People will smell the food. I said, oh, man, I am sorry because I respect other cultures. I said, I'm sorry. So those little things like that last about a month. And what I do when I plan out my year, which I did a few weeks ago, is I block off the dates Ramadan will occur in Dubai. And I know those are the dates I shouldn't try anything hardcore with any banking or governmental stuff here in the UAE because it's just going to take longer. Caleb, I don't want to leave Europe because of my kids. Only a valid excuse if your kids are little. If your kids are 16 or over, that's not an excuse. I don't know how old your kids are. I have kids, I left, but they're older. If they're little kids, I understand. Do you have flag suggestions for Europe? No, I don't. Because I don't think you should be in Europe. Will you leave the country? If you want to go to a less bad European country, you're looking at places like Bosnia, Montenegro, places like that. I'm black and I speak really proper, so I get white girls left and right. LOL, primarily white date. Oh, yeah, that happens. How to find a great OLTR mother requires lots of vetting without ending up with like 15 MLTRs. Well, you don't end up with 50 MLTRs because you can't handle more than 3 at a time. Very hard to handle more than 3 consistent MLTRs. 1 or 2 at a time. And then you just keep dropping them off as you bring new women in. And yes, it takes time to find an OLTR. It took me many years. I wasn't looking that hard, but it took me many years to find paying Firefly. You have to be patient. And Alex Mathers, I hope you are over the age of 30. If you're under the age of 30, no OLTR is allowed for you. What if someone wants both pussy and money at the same time? I answered that question earlier. I got friend zone one-itis for my sister. My sister's hot neighbor as I go there every week. You know what? Pause real quick. You know what pisses me off? Or used to piss me off? I don't care. What pissed me off for many years when I was a young adult, I had two sisters when I went to high school with. I was the oldest. It was a boy. Then I had two sisters and two brothers. So I went to high school with my two sisters. There were so many of my sister's friends I could have fucked in high school. Fucked. And I didn't because I was a pussy. I played around with two of them. I was able to play around a little bit with two of them. When you have sisters, their friends are a great source when you're young. It's great. Anyway, hot neighbors, I go there every week, and they live on the same floor. How to fix it? Because I have to go there for other reasons. First of all, I don't believe you. I don't think you have to visit your sister's house every week. I think you can find a way around that. Number one. Number two, if you have one-itis, you're not fucking girls. Get laid with two hot girls fast. Andrew Tate says AI will take over is good leverage to make money. In what ways will AI help in making money? Automation. AI automates a whole bunch of marketing tasks. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. AI automates shit. It gets you results faster and by paying less people. AI is the shit. It's the shit now. Soon it'll be a problem. Right now, it's awesome. Hey, in the past, you've said now is the time to date in January. These next 2 months in your time. Why is that? Or describe that. Did you meet your wife on Tinder? No, I met her on I was about to say seeking arrangement. No, I met her on Match.com. That was a long time ago. She's been in my life a long time. When goals have been made at the end of December, is it ever okay to tweak or change them slightly without overdoing it? Sure. You don't want to do a lot of that, but yeah, you can. Also read the article on black guys. The comments fairly accurate. My experiences. Cool. What article? There's an article I have on my blogs. alphamale20.com/blog. Go to the article, go to the article archive. I have a whole series of articles on how non-white men can fuck white girls. So how black guys can fuck white girls, how Asian guys can fuck white girls, how Indian guys can fuck white girls, because they all have their own issues. Is Armenia still a viable living flag? I've never said it's a viable living flag, unless you're going to stay there less than 6 months a year. I've never said that about Armenia. It's a viable residency flag, passport flag, financial, all the types of flags are okay. The problem with living there is A, they will tax you, and B, Azerbaijan wants to kill them. So if you want to live there, less than 6 months a year. For each goal, is it viable to do a to-do list for each? Not for a goal, for a project. You have to do it for a project. Yes, not for a goal. No, goal. Sorry. Viable to, yes. I don't do that except for the top 3 goals. If you have 10 goals, don't do it for all of them. Do the top 3. Also, can you do a general to-do list for the quarter? Preparing potential. Yes, you can. Armenia looks great. Just watch the video. Armenia is amazing. One of my favorite flags. I'm going there shortly. Hey, Kill, I missed a call for 9-day business. My day business builder bonus special last week. Friday got AM with PM wrong on accident. What can I do now? Bonus special. I don't know what you're asking, and don't ask me. Ask Jeff. I noticed that some single mothers can be hot, especially if they are under the age 25. I've seen them. I do not differentiate. I'm not a red pill psycho. I do not differentiate between a single mother and one who has no kids. There's no difference. I have dated massive numbers of both. There is no discernible difference. There is none. There is none. A single mom, 25-year-old, and a single mom, and 25, no kids. There's no difference in dating her, having sex with her, getting laid with her quickly. FB, MLTR. Oh, there's no difference. I haven't seen a difference. I just haven't. Don't care. As long as they're hot, who cares? Rephrase question. When you say that it's the best time to get sexual partners, do you mean you're online dating? Wintertime is much worse for day game. I do talk about online dating. That is my main source of what I talk about here and what I teach here, but I disagree with you that winter is a horrible time for day game unless you live in a zone where it's literally like 4 feet of snow for 3 months. If you live where there's snow, not rain, not cold weather, snow, massive snow, I agree with you. If you just live in a region where it's cold and shitty during the winter, you can do day game. People are out. Women are out at malls doing shit. I've lived in some cold places. Winter was fine. But if you live in certain parts of Colorado where you have 3 feet, 4 feet of snow for 3 months, then you're right. I know you're not a night game guy, but would you say January would be good for that in UK? I can't answer night game questions. I've never even done it. I worked on developing my 2025 plan based on your goal setting framework from the previous podcast. Good. I'm trying my first 12-week year cycle. Any advice on best handling the slow traction at first? Why would there be slow traction? Why would there be slow traction? That has nothing to do with my planning. I don't know why you would have that. Focus on activity. The first few weeks of January, focus on activity. You're not going to get a lot of results the second week of January, right? Focus on activity. Correct activity. Not make work activity, real activity that gets you the result. I don't know what you mean by traction. You said don't focus on night game. Would you say January would be good? Okay, you already asked that question twice. Do all rappers cheat? Stereotype true. All no. Most yes. Don't know any mainstream rapper hasn't cheated. Who didn't cheat it? Yeah, I know. What's your thought on use dating app Bumble? Bumble's fantastic. Use it. No apps are fantastic, but in terms of the apps, that's like the second best one to use. Yes. Do you consider history a nerdy subject, or are you a fan yourself? I'm a huge fan of history. I read a lot of history books. Yes. What do you think of Shane Gillis, a comedian? I think he's very funny. He's very good. Thank you, Caleb. You're right. 2 weeks off was way too long. Correct. You. I don't know why you did that. I have a feeling a woman in your life, even if it's your mother, told you to take time off, and you said, "Okay." I think you succumbed to societal programming. Tell me if I'm right. You didn't make that decision or have that thought. Someone told you to take 2 weeks off. You said, "Okay, I better do it." Don't do that. My email also popped on November for the random drawing of the 20-minute coaching, but I never got the email though. We did it. We sent out all the emails. Send an email to theonlyblackdragon@gmail.com and ask for the recording. The Herman Miller X Logitech G Embody chair is the best chair for work. Well, I've got my Aaron chair right here. Yeah, agree. What usually happens to guys who finally lose their virginity later, age 30s and 40s? Oh, it's not good. Do they end up going on a rampage, or they just get laid with a couple women and eventually settle down? They usually get one-itis for the first 1 or 2 girls they fuck. Not always. They usually a girlfriend up the first or second girl they fuck. That's why being a virgin that long is very dangerous. Do you be more beta on dates? I think I come off as too much player. If you come off as too much player, that is a problem. You're correct. You went 15% beta, 85% player on first dates. That's what I teach. For Alpha Male 2.0. If you just want to get laid, rack up lays, you don't care about long-term dating, then 100% player is fine. Just know that she's going to ghost you after you fuck her, which is the problem players have, right? That's the problem. If you want long-term relationships, you need 85% player, 15% provider, beta male provider. Just throw a little bit of beta in there. A little bit, 15%. That's all. That's what I do. Works very well. Do you think Paraguay is a good place to incorporate an online business that sells services to several countries around the world? Sure, it's fine. The bank's a little tricky, but it's fine. Is it typical for some over 33-year-old chicks to complain if you act like a 1.0 in the bedroom? No, that is, well, when you say in the bedroom during sex, that is not typical. No, you're dealing with a cunt. You're dealing with a bitch. No, during sex, they don't care. They like that, most of them. Now, I don't know what you mean by complain. They say, can you do this instead of do that? That's not complaining. But if you're like, why are you always doing that? That's the woman. That has nothing to do with age. I meant to say the last question about money and pussy. Would you agree getting laid a lot will help focus way more and more productive? Yes, that's why I have sex so that many times. The only reason I have sex, it makes me more productive at work. If I have sex 2 to 3 times a week, I'm more productive at work because I can focus, because I'm not thinking about pussy and jerking off all the time like you guys are, or many of you, not all of you. Yes, that's why I have sex. I don't have sex because, I'm like John Anthony Lifestyle or Andrew Tate, these guys wants to fuck a lot. I have sex because it makes me a happier, more productive business owner. And it rounds out my life, not because I want pussy. Now, when I was in my 20s, I wanted pussy, but I'm 53, 52, about to be 53. Are most women who says they're bisexual lying? Yes. I have an entire video on that in the Alpha Male 2.0 YouTube channel. You can watch that. There's different levels of lesbian in the modern era and the woke lefting era in which we live. Women in their 20s, it's a cool thing to say they're lesbians. What they are is bisexual women going through a lesbian phase. In a year or two, they'll go right back to fucking guys. Okay, still looking here. Do men love bisexual women more than straight women? No, that's a silly question. It seems the way to having bisexual women is advantageous to straight women. If you want to go fuck bisexual women, go ahead. I fuck many. They're great. But I don't prefer them. I don't care. All I want is someone who's hot and low drama. That's it. Many men who doesn't love bisexual women are not open to be threesome, says she's shy and insecure man. I don't think I understand your question. I have had numerous threesomes with women who are not bisexual. Bisexuality is not a requirement of threesomes. You can have threesomes, the women don't touch each other. I've done many of them. It's fine. There's two kinds of male, female threesomes. There's the kind where the women also do shit to each other. All three are doing shit to each other. Then there's the kind where the man is fucking both women, but the women don't really touch each other. Someone will request this. They'll say, I want to do a threesome. My main Dubai girl just told me a few weeks ago, I want to do a threesome, but I don't want to touch her. Is that okay? I'm like, of course. Tom Torero day gamed in Moscow winter. It's definitely possible. Of course it is. Yeah, these guys are making excuses. Is having a threesome with wife ruin the relationship? If it's monogamous, yes, possibly. That's why you shouldn't do monogamy. Have an oil to your wife like I do. Have you put the new Unchained Man on new version of Audible? Yes, it's there right now. I could not find the new version in India. I was trying to buy it. Well, in India, I can't help you. I don't control Audible in India. Do a VPN, get up a new browser in a incognito browser with a VPN, then go to Audible. So VPN in the United States, get a VPN if you don't have one. VPN in the United States, go to an incognito browser, and then bring up Audible, and then it should be there. India is probably blocking off Audible, and I have no control over Audible. Or you can buy it from me. If you're in India, you just want to buy it, you want to buy the audiobook, you don't have to buy it from Audio. You can buy it direct from me. It's MP3 files. alphamalebook.com. That might be easier for you. It just won't be an Audible, though. Speaking of my Dubai girl, she's texting me. Hang on, I forgot to mute that tab. Okay. You guys are talking about black guys a lot. That's funny. Hi, Caleb. Do you think mentioning my child over 16 is enough to push provider 50% while keeping all other player? More than that. You can't just say, I have a kid. No, you talk about, because I did this. You talk about, I have my kid or I have kids. Talk about how much you love your kids, how important your kids are to you. Spend time with them. You love being a dad. Beta male shit. Women love hearing that crap. And then go back to player. My MLTR 8-year-old son is rude and has no discipline because he was raised with no father. Correct. That's what happens when women raise kids without fathers. It's hard to be around him sometimes. Does this qualify her from being a future OLTR? That's your decision. Are you ready to make that kid, adopt that kid, and set that kid straight? I adopted Josh, but he wasn't 8. He was 4 or 5. So you want to do that? You want to take that on or not? That's going to be your son. If you're like, well, hell no, then it disqualifies. If you're like, yeah, I'll do it, then no, fine. It's up to you. I found a lot of girls who were in school who were 19 to 22 were more interested in LTRs. What country do you live in? If you live in the Western world, they're lying. If you live in like Taiwan, you're right. Depends on the country. I don't know what country in. When I was younger, this school wasn't the case. Thoughts, I miss the hose. I don't know what country in. If you're in the Western world, ignore what young girls say. They all say shit. They don't mean anything. They don't want LTRs. Caleb Jones, Herman Miller computer chair costs $1,800. Well, there's lots of Herman Miller chairs. It depends which one. This one was, how much was this one? This one was, well, I paid in dirhams, so I got to convert in my head. $800 this chair, I think. Maybe it was 1,000. Maybe it was 1,000. I don't remember. Name a video about bisexual women. I don't know the exact name of all my videos. I have hundreds of them. There's a thing in YouTube called search. You might want to try it. Go to the Alpha 2.0 YouTube channel, click the little magnifying glass and type in bisexual or lesbian and look around. Use some initiative. How do you find that it's possible to have one MLTR in a social circle you're involved weekly, or common friends seeing her incidentally twice per week? One time is, many guys have asked this question over the years. There's no easy solution. What you're saying is, I think what you're asking is, how do I do the once a week rule when I see her in my social circle? Yeah, that's a problem. I have no answer for you. Stop going to the social circle events. But I want to. Well, then you're going to fuck up your relationship. You're damaging the relationship. Do you want the social circle event, or do you want to maintain this quality relationship? Pick one. You don't get both. There's no magic bullet around that. On a recent email, you said not to have kids unless you want them 8 to 10 or above. That's goddamn right. What does that look like? What does that look like? Would you say basically no doubts about it at all? No. Is 8 out of 10 no doubts? No. 10 out of 10 be no doubts. 8 out of 10 means if I ask you if you want kids, you go, oh my God, yes. It's that fast. You don't have to think about it. Most guys, the vast majority, I've asked hundreds of men this question. Do you want to have kids? Men in their 30s, 40s, late 20s. Not young guys, guys who are like a kid having age. Do you want to have kids? And almost always, not always, but maybe 80 to 90% of the time, it's like, well, okay, that's not 8. It starts with, well, I don't know. Well, I will depend. Well, gee, then that's not 8 on a scale, as that's not 8. So 8 is not that. That's like a 3 or a 5. That means you should not have kids. If I ask you if you want kids, you go, yeah, it's that quick for you, then that's an 8. If you go, yeah, I mean, I'm a little nervous about this and this, but oh, I'd love that. It'd be great. That's an 8. Most of you, by the way, hearing the sound of my voice who are men, you're not an 8. You're not. And you know you're not. Your mom is yelling at you. Your girlfriend's yelling at you to do it, but you're not, which means you don't. Okay, real quick. It would stagger the imagination. If we actually had statistics on this, we don't, but I know this enough. I know. It would stagger your imagination that millions of men in the Western world who now have kids who didn't want them. They had them because of pressure from other women in their lives, including their mothers. The men would have waited. Some of these men would have never had kids. Some would have waited another 10 years, but because girlfriend or mom or both are pressuring them, or they got a woman present on by accident, in quotes. Yeah, soft. I got a kid on the way with my girl in the Philippines. There we go. Only 1.25 million net worth at 35. Well, that's better than most guys. Hopefully I'll be a good dad and still be freedom focused. Not hopefully. You decide to be a good dad or not. You decide to be freedom focused or not. There's no hope. Hope is bullshit. You will or you won't. I was a good dad. Was I a perfect dad? No. But I was a good dad because I made sure to be a good dad. I read books on how to be a good parent. This was a priority to me. You don't like, hopefully I'll be a good dad. And it's up to you, dude. And still be freedom focused. That's up to you. You can be a good dad when you're there. You may not be there all year. If I have more children, I'm not planning on it, but I could. I'm not going to be there all year. I'll be there several months a year. And while I'm there, I'm going to be I'm going to be a great dad. But on the months I'm not there, I'm going to do my best. How to deal with hot women with bad breath. If you're already fucking them, you tell them, hey, your breath is bad. So you can do whatever you want, but I would prefer to spend time with women whose breath doesn't smell like that. You do whatever you want, but I'm just letting you know, it's kind of a turn off. Hard for me to have sex with you. If you haven't had sex with her yet, then move on. Do you think with mass migration of Africans to the West, it's actually an advantage for black, non-white guys as girls see more of this? I don't know. That's a difficult question. It would depend on the region of the country. That's a region-specific question. I'm not an 8 to 10 then, haha. I know you're not. If you're asking the question, you're not an 8. Probably a 5 or 6. That's right. That's most guys. Then you shouldn't have kids. Most men in the Western world in that zone should not have kids. And I know right-wingers get very upset because we don't have enough babies. Well, whose fault is that, fuckers? Have you received any feedback from the men using your system in South Africa? If so, does it work there? Yes, I've had some, and I've had men be successful in my system in South Africa. Yes. Not many, but yes. But I've had men definitely from South Africa made it work. Oh, yeah. I'd want kids if I thought the world was heading in a more positive direction for them, sadly. I agree with you. If I have more kids, none of them will be raised in the Western world. It'll be here in Dubai or in Paraguay. I would never raise kids in the United States. Today's United States? Are you insane? Or Europe? Or Canada? Raising a kid today in 2025 in the United States, Canada, and Western, the way it is now, or Australia, that kid's going to be a woke, insane basket case by the time they're 15, 16, 17, 18. You'll be fucked. Yeah. I was the last, Gen X was the last generation who could have healthy kids in the United States. Thank God I was right at that cutoff. I just got lucky with that one. Thoughts on Tom Brady not being able to make the wife happy? High-powered alpha males work, and they work and they're dedicated to their mission forever. And you can't be a wife and suddenly say, stop working. Stop working, alpha male, where your whole life is this. Stop doing that. I don't like that. It's not reasonable. Caleb, I'm in Canada, leaving soon. Oh, okay, and I know they say lying. Just curious your thoughts. They're lying. Never pay attention to anything women under 23 say about what they want or don't want. They don't even know what they want. Just like when they say they're lesbians, they're not. Or here's the big one. I'll never have kids. Yes, you will, sweetheart. Wait 10 years, you'll have a kid. No, I never want kids. I want to be free. Cool to say that when you're 20. What I meant before on slow traction in the first 12-week cycle is dealing with beginner inefficiency or failing behind the plan, ideal to-do list versus reality. Set smaller goals. If you're worried that's going to happen, reduce the goals down a little bit. I'd rather you hit the smaller goals than hit big goals and miss them. So set smaller goals, easier objectives if you're brand new at what you're doing. Any celebrities you feel are actually good, actually OI, and if a guy was OI, good looking and confident, could he, and put in the numbers, could he crush it at game? Well, the second question is obvious. If you're OI and confident and good looking, you'll crush it. Of course, that's a dumb question. Celebrities. I only know characters. I don't know celebrities. I don't know their personalities. I don't know. Characters, I can name some OI characters. Tom Baker in the original Doctor Who. Guy Pearce, the Guy Pearce character in the movie Lockdown. Idris Elba, if you want a black guy, in the movie Prometheus. Those characters were outcome independent. But I don't know celebrities' personalities, so I don't know. Would you look forward to being a grandparent? I do look forward to being a grandparent. I have 2 kids. At some point, they'll have kids. It'll be a while. My kids are smart and they're waiting. My kids are smart and they're waiting to have kids. My son is in his early 30s. My daughter's in her mid-20s. They're waiting. Good. But, oh, yeah, I will fucking be over the moon when I have grandkids. It'll be great. You said in a previous video that most women are comfortable with some sexual experience by curious. Correct. More than 60%. But now say most women are not bisexual. How's that possible? I didn't say most women are not bisexual. And if they're saying that, they're lying. Most women in the modern era, especially those under the age of 40, are bisexual to some degree, more than 50%. That's a fact. It hasn't changed. Doesn't matter what people say. You mentioned that Bumble was the second best dating app, which is the first. Tinder, unfortunately. How do I make this year the money year of my life and become financially free, Caleb? I just paid rent and I'm back to damn near zero as a 26-year-old with no kids, never married, and don't plan on it. You're asking a very broad general question, so I'm going to give you a broad general answer. Start your Alpha 2.0 business. Step 1 is to locate a narrow niche. Brainstorm a bunch of niche ideas, do some research on niches you've heard of or experienced in the past. Get your top 2, do some research on that niche, on the biggest problem they have. You have to call some people, email some people, do some research. Don't just do some AI searches. Then you come up with a consulting, coaching, or service to help solve or alleviate that problem and sell it to them. That's what you get from Zero to Money Fast. Not sure if you saw my rephrase question, but when working on location independent business while waiting to make money on that business, is a commission sales role playing a viable option? Hope that is clear. No, double down on your business and make money faster at your business. Why would you wait to make money in your business? That makes no sense. No. What is the approximate shape of the spiritual goals when you start working on them? Given that my perception is your belief is materialism. Don't think I understand your question. I'm going to try this one more time. Guys, you got to listen, guys. If you want me to answer your questions, and I don't care if English is your second language, I have a suspicion English is your first language, some of you, write your questions coherently. Don't just pap them out on your phone, because if I have to keep saying I don't understand your question, I'm going to stop doing this function and just give you a podcast and not answer questions. Okay. I'm going to ask this question again. I'm going to try it again. What is the approximate shape of spiritual goals when you start working on them, given that my perception of your beliefs is materialism? Don't understand your question at all. I have an entire podcast called My Spiritual Beliefs at the Alpha Male 2.0 channel. You can search on that and watch that whole thing. I kind of want to coast on my current money and semi-retire to raise a kid. Okay. You think I should just rent some long-term in Philippines or go somewhere else? That's up to you, not me. Do you like the Philippines? To stay there. That's up to you, not me. That's your decision. If I get a job again, I'll take the family traveling. Okay, it's fine. Just remember that you're in charge. You probably make a lot more. You're the guy with the 1.5 million. You are. You make more money than her, so you're in charge of where you guys, the three of you, live. You don't say, where should we live, honey? You're in charge. I'm going to live in the Philippines, and then we're going to go live here. You're going to come with me. No. Well, then bye. See ya. Oh, okay. I mean, remember, you're in charge. All right. One or two more questions, and I got to go. Longer than I thought it was being here. Caleb, before 1900s, men's cheating was very common. Correct. It was more a one-sided open relationship, how it worked. No, it was not a one-sided open relationship. Women cheated too. Women cheated too before the 1950s. Now, it was harder for women to cheat. So less women did cheat than men. That's true, because it was harder for women to cheat. Women cheated too, a lot. So it was nothing one-sided about it, unless it was logistical. Why should now we have an open relationship, side relationship, like you say? Why should we now be an open relationship? Because women today in the 2025s, the modern era in the Western world, if you say, listen, bitch, I'm going to fuck all these girls, but you better not fuck a guy ever. Okay, cool. Now stay with me the rest of your life. Are women going to go, okay? They're going to say, fuck you, motherfucker. I'm a strong independent. I have to put up this shit. And they're out of there. Or if they agree, very rare, as soon as they tell one of their girlfriends, their mom, the very first question out of their mouths, and I've been through this many times, is, wait a minute, he fucks other women? Yeah. Well, can you fuck other guys? And if she says, no, I'm not allowed to, guess what their mom and their friends and their orbiters and their friend zone guys and all their girlfriends are like, what the fuck? Fuck that guy. And they should be out of there. That's why I've told the story many times. Pink Firefly's mom found my blogs and stuff many years ago and said, she's going to fuck other women while he's married to you. She threw a big fucking tantrum. So I met up with her mom, who's now my mother-in-law, for Starbucks one day. And she sat there like this. She's all pissed off, glaring at me. So you're going to have sex with a woman while you marry my daughter? I said, yes, I am. So what's the first question she asked? The first question they always ask. So is she allowed to have sex with other men? And she's thinking my answer is going to be no, like most men. And I said, if she really wants to do that, of course she can. Fair is fair. And she goes, oh, then it's fine. I know it's a fantasy men have. Doesn't work in the modern era in the Western world. Now, if you want to move to Saudi Arabia, convert to Islam, get 4 wives, go ahead. You're not going to do that. Okay, one or two more questions. The only people I know who say the UK is a good place to live are the foreigners. As I've said many times, if you live in a third world shithole, yes, UK is great. America's great. That's the only people who think it's great. Correct. Everyone else thinks it's horrible. Native Brits are all agreeing it's terrible for what I'm saying. Correct. Same thing in the United States. Yep. Thank you for the live stream. Happy New Year. Very welcome. Do you think people are too money hungry? No, I think people aren't money hungry enough. There's too many lame poor people in the world. No, I think the opposite. At a certain point, no one cares. No, Okay, you can say that because you have 1.25 million. What about the guy right above you who's 25 and has no money? Is he money hungry? No, he needs to be money hungry. You're not like most people, right? You and I are in different categories. How do you view overachieving in business? Is it ever too much so you can always unplug and relax? What I've talked about many times is you define a magical number for yourself. I've already defined mine. And in my case, it's four or five numbers. So a magical number in terms of your income, in terms of your net worth, in terms of your investments, whatever it needs to be. And when you hit that number, you give yourself permission to kick way back. Not retire. I think retirement is stupid, but cutting way back on your work, then it's okay. Once you hit that number, and that number is the number you've given a lot of thought and analysis to. Your ideal number that will carry you the rest of your life, whatever that number is based on your lifestyle goals, your age. And so that's what I think. I do think it's a problem when guys, they make 500,000 a year. And I go, now I got to make $1 million. So they make $1 million a year. Well, now I got to make 2 million. And they make 2 million. Well, I got to make 5 million because my friend makes 7 million. So then he makes 5 million, 7 and 10. They get to 10 million a year. I know guys, I have buddies like this. 10 million a year. Well, now I got to make 25 a year. Well, now I want $1 billion valuation. That might be okay for some guys. For me, that doesn't make sense. Certain number, and in my world, it's a big number. I got a big number for me. I'm going to hit it next year, maybe this year. Then you back off. That's how I view it. But it's a big number. It's not like I want to make $50,000 at some IT nerd job. That's not going to make you happy. I have a business that nets me about $1 million USD a year. Oh, speaking of that, okay. The problem is that in the US, right? Offshore it. Get it to Dubai. Get it to BVI. What are you doing? Yeah. I have a good management team that allows me to travel a lot. Is this acceptable for alpha? If you can travel a lot, I don't know what your specific scenario is. I can't answer that question. Travel a lot doesn't count. Can you be out of the United States for 12 months and never go back and you're perfectly fine? That's the answer. The answer is no, you're not location independent. You're location dependent to some degree. So I would rejigger the business so I could literally be outside the United States 12 months a year if I wanted to and have no disruption of my income. Now, if you have to go back 2 or 3 times a year for a few days at a time, that's okay. But if you're like, oh no, I could be gone for like 3 months or a month, then I have to come back. No, then you're not free. That business owns you. You don't own it. Thanks for the great work. Thank you very much. Really need to try to make this my year to get out of the UK. If you live in the UK, I don't know why you're still there. If you live in the United States, I don't know why you're still there. I'm confused. Unless you have small children, 99% of you don't. You still live in Canada, I don't know why you're still there. You still live in Germany, don't know why you're there. Don't know what the fuck you're doing. Don't know. In 9-Day Business Builder, when deciding on the 3 types of businesses, does my personality type determine which types of business your coaches recommend? No, not really. No. You can't hate your niche. It's whether or not you hate your niche. Do you hate it when you can't do a niche you hate? Other than that, it has nothing to do with personality. Have you ever done mushrooms or ayahuasca ceremonies? What do you think of that? I am very anti-drug for myself personally. I'm very pro-drug in terms of libertarianism. All drugs should be legal. I don't like drugs. No, my daughter's a mushroom. She loves them. No, ayahuasca. No, I have no interest. Plus, I'm a very happy guy. Ayahuasca is people who need to find themselves, and I don't have that problem. I know exactly who I am. So, not my thing. But if you want to do it, go ahead. I've been getting a free season ticket for soccer. Is it a waste of time if I manage my time well? The guys all like to drink and give me shit if I don't. Hang on one second. I gotta check something. If you love your hobby, do it. If you're doing it just because you have it, no. And guys give you a bunch of shit, then no. If you love soccer and you love going to soccer, it's your big hobby, your passion, great, do it. Sounds like it's not. Even Italians, I know, think the UK is a great place. Caleb, but all high value men. Lord Bilal, you sound very young. So you need a little more life experience. I'll answer your question, but almost all high value men cheat. Almost all relationships are on one side of relationship. How does that work for them? Like rappers, actors, etc. Those women cheat too. While these rappers marry these strong black women are fucking other women, these strong black women are not sitting home doing nothing. They're fucking black guys too. Or if they're not black, like Ice-T's wife. You know what happened there? I mean, come on. It's not one-sided. And these guys eventually get divorced, don't they? So did it work? Any experience with a wake-up light? I don't need one. How do you manage all the shaming from other, like they call you a cuckold if woman is open. No one has ever called me a cuck. Try calling me a cuck. How am I? And my answer is, how am I a cuck if I'm banging all these chicks? So you bang 6 women for months on end. She hooks up with one guy twice. How are you a cuck? The cuck is the guy that sits home by himself upstairs while his wife is getting railed downstairs. He doesn't do anything. That's a cuck. Is that you? No. It's also discussing like many men come inside her after that. No, she has to walk. Do we have a walking sperm bank? She has to use condoms. If she's fucking a guy, she has to use condoms. All right. I'll see you guys next week. I don't know what the live stream schedule is yet, but I will set one up for the next. I haven't gone through and done that for January yet because I've been planning my quarter. Get to work if you want your Mexican residency, which is one of the best Mexican residencies, best residencies you get in the world. It's one of the few permanent residencies, and you want a paid trip to Cancun. bosscooperative.com/Get Mexico Residency, and Get Mexico Residency is separated by hyphens. That is the end of February. And Cancun is the shit. And you'll get residency there. And you'll get training from Billy and all the other coaches. Cool? Cool. All right, guys. Have fun.